for chapter 11. So in the previous chapter, we're talking about leadership. It's more impact of leadership on the organizational performance. But this chapter 11 talking about the team effectiveness, which we suppose have more detail about how the team rather than the individual work for the organization. In this chapter mentioned a lot of how the team work together. But I always check my student team, say which stage of your team right now to as definition of the team development. If anyone say, hey, we are in the stage of performance, I always question them back, say, what kind of storming stage you guys have suffered from, right? For my understanding, many of the good team, if they really want to get a very high level of performance, is there's always they need to know how to handle conflict in their team. Storming is a very valuable stage for the team development. I don't know how many you guys is the fast person, right? If you are a fast person, you probably heard this word chemistry a lot when people talk about team. Right? There's the one example I like. I'm a super basketball fans, right? I believe a team who could be a better than a adding on of all the top players, right? In other words, there's one thing our text measures called team coherence, right? We always can have the best player in one team. Why? Some team become the top, for example, top symphony orchestra, but some other team may not work that well. Well, I put an interview from a professor talking about something called psychology, safety, and listening is part of the team coherence. Well, back to my expertise, do you think we can measure the team chemistry and later on interpret the chemistry for a better team? Right? I believe so. I believe so. One of my PhD colleagues, he's currently working for the Minnesota Vikings teams. He told me every day their data science team measure everything. Probably we even don't think about that related to team performance. For example, how long they stay in the stadiums for the practice, how long they take off and dress on their suit, and how many times they can motivate each other in the fitting room. This all detailed data eventually can be built up as a model to measure if this can work for their team performance. It's very interesting. That's why I actually have two clips of one of my favorite movie called Moneyball. This is a real story. This is a real story. Because of this data analytics has been used in the one team in the MLB. So this kind of data analytics things has been now using all the former teams in all leagues, football, soccer, hockey, baseball. I believe everybody follow this rule, say we at least need some collect some data to understand the team, then interpret the team, right? So please read the textbook, especially watch my favorite movie clips and do the quiz.